What's up, everyone? My name is Murray. I'm the founder of Hele Outdoors, and today's video for the How It Fits series is the Subaru Crosstrek. We get so many questions about the Crosstrek. Does the Hele Box fit in there? How well does it fit? Does it fit in all the generations? We're going to answer those questions for you here today. Right now, I've got the Solo in the back of the Crosstrek with the Stubbies, the shorter leg on it. We'll talk through all the different configurations. Now, one important thing to note is that if you're planning to put the Hele Box in your Subaru Crosstrek, you'll really want to purchase the shortening kit. It takes the Hele Box from 6 feet tall to 5'6". Now, there are some ways that you can fit the full 6-foot Hele Box sleeping platform in your Crosstrek, but it's not ideal. It takes a ton of manual configuration and puts a lot of weight and strain on the center console in between the driver and the passenger seats. That being said, let's get into it. We're going to start things off with a walk around, show you how the fitment goes, show you how much room you have underneath. We'll put on the longer set of legs, and we're even going to fit the Duo in here, believe it or not, and how you might want to configure that if you're going on a trip with your partner. All right, let's kick things off with just that little walk around, show you the side profile. Now, what's really cool about the Solo in the back of the Crosstrek is that you actually get access to one of your seats. So I'm going to pop that up right now for you. What's cool about having this access is that if you want to get changed in your car, sit up and do some computer work, read a book, write, whatever it is, you have this little area to do so in your vehicle. Now, swinging it around at this side, you'll see here we've got some of the topper rolled up and managed. This is with the shortening kit. I'll put a link in the description to the shortening kit. It's a must if you're putting the Hele Box in the Subaru Crosstrek. What's cool about it, though, is that once it's managed and you get the excess folded up, you get this little nightstand here. You can put your phone or other little toiletry items on underneath your pad before you go to sleep. If you're wondering why get a sleeping platform instead of just putting a pad right down there in the back, a couple of reasons. One, most vehicles don't have a perfectly flat surface in the back. As you can see here in this Crosstrek, there's a huge hump that you have to go over. That can make it uncomfortable. And two, right, if you just had a pad back here, you would reduce your sleeping length by almost a foot. So unless you're 5 foot tall or maybe less in the Crosstrek, sleeping platform is your best friend, plus all the additional storage. There's so much stuff you can store underneath here, especially with the standard legs. These are the Stubbies, maximizing the modularity of your system. Now, once again, as I mentioned at the top of the video, we've got the Stubbies on. So the Stubbies are the shorter legs. They're an add-on, so you have to purchase them separately, but they're a must for Subaru owners, especially Crosstreks like this when you have limited headroom. That being said, you do give up some storage underneath. And just to give you a comparison, so this is the standard size leg that comes with every Hele Box. So every Hele Box comes with 6 of these short legs, so you can put it on flat ground, and then 2 longer extended legs that you can see up there that drop into the footwells. So this is the standard leg that comes with every Hele Box. We'll put it on just so you can see how much more storage space you get underneath, but you do sacrifice quite a bit of headroom. So really, it's up to you. Now, a really cool feature of the Hele Box, if you've got gear stashed underneath the topper, you want to get access to it, all you need to do is pop it off, and you can actually slide forward and get over access into anything that you might have stored underneath without having to rip everything out from under the bottom. In certain generations of Crosstreks, this center console here can be further back or further forward. Now, if you find that this cross member here isn't being able to push far forward enough for your tailgate to close, really easy fix. Just loosen this top bracket from both ends, one here and then the other here, and then this can slide further back, so you can slide it just before the push pin here, and then you'd get enough room. It works in this Crosstrek, but just for other generations, that could be a helpful tip for you to make sure it can fit. All right, now we're taking a look at the frame in the back of the Crosstrek. Now, when it comes to the shortening kit, you want to place the shortening kit's poles between the rear and the middle, and then the rear poles between the middle and the front. Here, let me show you what it looks like on the diagram from the instructions booklet. So once you get your shortening kit, these short poles here are going to go up here. So the short poles go up there, and then the new shortening kit poles go right here. You connect it, put the legs on in the back of the frame, and you're rocking and rolling. The reason why you want to do this is because there's this void space here in the Crosstrek. This is specific for Crosstreks, doing it this way. There's this void space that you don't want your legs dropping into. So by configuring it this way, you get your legs on a nice solid piece of the frame of the back seat. Now we're going to jump into the passenger seat. I'm going to show you what the legroom looks like. For reference, I am 5'11", and I can almost get my legs straight in here. They are crunched up a little bit. I think if I was going on an 8-hour road trip, a little more legroom would be nice. Once again, this is the solo. So for a solo passenger, and then the driver's side, uninterrupted. So this can be as far back, as far forward as you want. The Hele Box does not interfere with it at all. Now, when it comes to configuring a sleeping pad on your Hele Box, because the configuration is 5'6", there will be some overhang if you have a 6-foot pad. Now, they do make shorter sleeping pads. We only sell one version, that's the 6-foot. That being said, let me show you how this can work in your benefit. What we would recommend doing is once you set up camp for the night, if you got a 6-foot sleeping pad, just move this seat forward. Once it's forward, that overhang will kind of just sit into this void here, but it'll allow you to close your tailgate. So that's the best configuration if you got a 6-foot pad. Now, if you got a 5'6" pad or under, well, hey, you're good to go. It'll fit right on there nice and snug. In terms of headroom with the stubbies on, I do have enough headroom to get my chest off. I could roll over in here comfortably without hitting the roof. That being said, it is limited because you're in such a small vehicle, micro camper here. In a little bit, I'm going to put on the standard size short legs, and we're going to see a lot of this headroom go away. So that's the give and take, right? With the stubbies, you get more headroom, but less storage underneath. And then those standard legs that comes with every Hele Box, you get a ton more storage, but you lose the headroom. So in vehicles like this, you really got to kind of pick your poison there and what makes most sense for you. Switch it out. We got the frame in the back of the Crosstrek with the standard legs on. So as you can see, it sits up a bit higher. And then just to absolutely maximize the headroom here, I actually just removed the inner leg on the middle support completely. It's really easy to do. It'd be just like you're loosening it. You pop it, push the pin in, then just slide the leg all the way out. It goes back in the same way it came out. Just make sure that twist lock is loose. But that way I can get as much headroom as physically possible. Now here we are with the standard legs that come with every Hele Box. Because it's elevated, you get a ton more storage. This is the carrying case the Hele Box comes in. It actually doubles as storage and fits right underneath the platform. And there's the fitment. All right, the moment you've all been waiting for. Here's the headroom with the standard legs on. So my chest is not off the ground. I'm hitting the roof. If I turned, my shoulders would probably hit the roof. So yes, you could sleep in here. I think if you're using it for the purposes of sleeping, no issues. If you toss and turn a ton in your sleep, then the stubbies would probably be the way to go for you. Once again, the benefit here is you get a ton more storage underneath. I've got the Duo frame in the back of the Crosstrek now. And one thing to note is to be able to get a comfortable driving position with the Duo back here, because it will infringe on the driver's seat, is just to leave the front section disconnected. So set up everything, put the legs on, get it ready to go, and then disconnect this front section here. And you can take it, slide it underneath the platform, put it in the back, wherever you need to. But that will allow these front seats to go back far enough so you can get a comfortable driving position. You can go almost all the way back in the seats once that front part is disconnected. This is the only way to set up the Duo in the Crosstrek. And keep in mind, this is with their shortening kit on here. The solo version didn't interfere with the driver's seating, but the Duo does. So set the frame up. You can even leave the wooden topper on the back here, and then take off that front piece while you're driving around, and then reconnect it once it's time to go to sleep. And here's the Duo in the back of the Crosstrek with the Duo pad on top. We've got the stubbies on for maximum headroom. And we'll swing it around to the side here. And we've got those seats pushed all the way forward. And as you can see, it just barely fits in between the wheel wells and the back of the trunk. All right, that's going to wrap it up for the How It Fits series with the Subaru Crosstrek. And if you're looking for more information, there's a ton on our YouTube channel here, on our website at Hele Outdoors. If you can't find answers to your questions in either of those places, please reach out to us on the Contact Us form on the website. Thanks so much for tuning in.